A very good afternoon to all the students. I welcome you all. A very good afternoon to all the students. I welcome you all in the workshop of English, that is practice to perfection. Now, I hope you all are fit and fine and you must be there on time for this workshop, right? Now, before starting this workshop, students, I just want to tell you that this workshop will continue for 6 consecutive days, right? And you have to be on time for 1 to 2 or whatever the timings will be there for you all. So, be here, and this workshop is not basically like your ordinary classes, but it will be a different kind of thing. As you know, students, that this is a workshop and not the ordinary class. So, you have to be attentive, right? And as you know that English being a language, right, you have to be attentive in this. You have to be, your concept should be clear in your mind, right? So, for all these things I have divided this workshop for 6 days, right. This will include all your topics. For example, all the parts of speech will be covered, all the homonyms will be covered, all such things where you face problems are going to be covered in this workshop. Okay? So, I just want everyone to be there, okay, so that we can relate and we can connect and all your queries will be sorted simultaneously. Okay? So, let us get started. Now, practice to perfection. Why I have kept this name, students, practice to perfection? Why? Because this is a practice sort of thing. You are there at your home relaxing, okay, you are studying also simultaneously, no doubt, but then you are at home. You can learn more and more things. This is the time where you can utilize your time and you can understand and you can learn so many things at this point of time. ठीक है, अभी कोरोना पीरियड पूरा चल रहा है, you cannot go outside, you have to be at home, be with the safety and everything, so you can learn so many things sitting at your home, right? So, for all these things we people have conducted this workshop for you all so that your concepts will be cleared in this workshop, right? So, you people are studying so many things, like you are studying all the parts of speech also, you are studying about the essay writing, you are studying about spelling errors, so many things you are learning, no doubt. But why you people are getting stuck when it comes to speaking in English? Why? What is the reason that you people are facing the problem in speaking in English? Why? Because you people are not sure or you are not confident about the concepts which you people have studied. ठीक है, कॉन्सेप्ट सब चीज़ें आप पढ़ रहे हो, डेली एग्जाम्पल सॉल्व कर रहे हो, रिकॉर्डेड क्लास चल रही है आपकी, लाइव क्लासेस चल रही है, you are giving the solving the DPPs, everything is going on simultaneously, but then you are getting stuck. At some point of time you people are getting stuck and you are not speaking in English. Why? Because you people are not practicing it. So, the more and more you practice, the more you move towards perfection. That's why this workshop is meant to be. Okay, you will be practicing for these 6 days with me, okay. We people will be solving the concepts, we people will be solving some quizzes and simultaneously we people will be moving towards perfection. So, let us get started with the first day, very first day of this workshop, practice to perfection with me, Aisha ma'am, right. So, as you know students that this is your introductory class or this is day 1. So, I will be starting with the very basics, right. It starts English, you know, it's a vast language and you cannot learn it in 6 days. True, right? You cannot learn English and you will be fluent. I am not saying कि 6 days का जो पूरा workshop आप लोग attend कर लोगे and you will be pro. You will be understanding everything, you will be speaking in English fluently. No, you will not be speaking in English, but of course you will be learning so many concepts and you will be gaining so many things out of this workshop. For this I have planned out this workshop for 6 days and the first day will be including your very basics and that will be your parts of speech, right. As you know that English has been divided into 8 parts of speech, right. So many of you might be knowing about it and so many of you may not be knowing about it. So, to start with I am just going to give you an introduction to the parts of speech which are there in English language, right. So, let us get started. with the day 1. You all have to be attentive students. If any queries are there, you can always ask me so that your doubts will get clear there and then. ठीक है? So start with day 1. I'll be starting it with dividation of parts of speech, and as you know that English has been divided into 8 parts of speech. ठीक है? So first I am going to tell you what are those 8 parts, and then we'll be taking them simultaneously one by one. Right? Now parts of speech. You are getting this time to understand and to gain so many things. So I just want you all to be there on time and to attend this workshop. This will be beneficial for you all. So be there on time and utilize this workshop for your own good. Okay. So parts of speech, the first part of the very first part of speech in English language is noun. Right? Everybody of you might be knowing and you might be studying it from your lower classes about nouns. ठीक है? One thing. The next thing is pronouns. Right? Nouns पढ़ लिया हमने, उसके बाद क्या आता है? Pronouns. Right? So pronouns. Then you have verbs, the action words. Right? So you people might be understanding, or you people might be studying about verbs as well, but you are getting stuck at the usage of these verbs. So we will be clearing out all these concepts in this day 1, right? So nouns, then you have pronouns, then verbs, and then comes your adjectives. Adjectives, right? This is the 4th part of speech. After this you have adverbs, adverbs, right? Adverbs. Then you have prepositions. We will be studying or we will be discussing about every part of speech individually with the help of examples, with the help of quizzes, so that your mind will be clear about these 8 parts of speech. ठीक है? Now 7th one is the conjunctions. Conjunctions. And the last part of speech comes is interjection. Interjection. These are your 8 parts of speech. ठीक है? Now everybody of you might be studying it from your lower classes. Once you are in grade 1, grade 2, you are being introduced to these topics one by one, right? You are studying the nouns in 1st class also, you are studying the nouns in 5th standard also, and even in 10th standard. What happens? The basics remains the same, but the level keeps on increasing as you move further for your classes, right? Basics पूरी वही चीज़ है कि noun की definition जो है 1st grade में भी वही रहेगी, 10th में भी वही रहेगी, but what happens? The level keeps on increasing as you move further. So these topics or these concepts need to be clear in your mind for using or understanding English language, right? Once you are clear in your mind about these 8 parts of speech, you will get a clear idea from where to use these words and how to use these words. ठीक है? तो correct usage इनका पता लग जाएगा आपको, okay? And you will be using them in your daily life as well. We are using these words, right? These parts of speech, we are using them in our daily life, but we do not know कि हम कहाँ use कर रहे हैं. What is the adverb there? What is the adjective there? What is the noun? You are getting stuck, you are getting confused. So be clear in your mind once you are understanding the concepts, right? So these are your 8 parts of speech. So just let me remind them you again: noun, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, preposition, conjunction, and the interjection. These are your 8 parts of speech. Now let's move further and solve these or understand the concepts of these parts of speech individually, right? Now first up we will be taking up the topic will be your noun, right? We will be doing them one by one so that you will understand them. In this day 1 we will be doing the 4 parts of speech. Yeah, we will be just covering these 4 parts, that is the noun, pronoun, verbs, and the adjectives. The later parts of speech we will be discussing in day 2, right? So noun. Now everybody of you might be knowing or some of you might not be knowing ki what are nouns. Simply nouns in one word or two word we can explain कि nouns are the naming words, right? Naming words हैं, you can tell the name of any person, any place, any animal or anything that becomes a noun. Clear? Simple language, 2-3 words में clear. So nouns are basically the naming words, name of a place, name of a person, name of an animal or name of a thing. एक चीज़ clear? Now nouns has been divided into 4 to 5 types, right? Some of you might be knowing about these types, but some of you might get confused. ठीक है, nouns की definition हमने पढ़ ली, common proper noun तक भी समझ में आ गया कि क्या है. But once you move on to the next type of noun, you are getting confused. ठीक है, अगर sentence में आ जाता है, you have to underline this collective noun or you have to underline the abstract noun or concrete noun, you are getting stuck कि कौन सा noun है और कुछ भी जल्दी जल्दी में circle किया, underline किया and your marks are getting cut. So why? Understand the topics ना, understand the types first. ठीक है, एक बार टाइप्स समझ में आ गई, डेफिनेशन समझ में आ गई, फिर कितने भी आपको एग्जाम्पल्स मिल जाएं, हंड्रेड्स ऑफ एग्जाम्पल्स ऑल्सो यू कैन सॉल्व, राइट? सो बी क्लियर इन योर माइंड. सो नाउन्स डेफिनेशन आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टेल यू, सिंपली इट इज़ जस्ट अ नेम ऑफ अ पर्सन, प्लेस, एनिमल और थिंग. यही है डेफिनेशन और यही रहेगी टिल 10th स्टैंडर्ड, टिल 12th स्टैंडर्ड और इवन फर्दर. सो सिंपल लैंग्वेज. ठीक है, नाउ we'll be doing the types of nouns. The first one comes is the types of noun. ठीक है, एक एक पार्ट ऑफ स्पीच कवर करेंगे, उनके टाइप्स लेंगे और एग्जाम्पल करेंगे, ताकि क्या होगा, जो आपके माइंड में जो भी डाउट्स है वो सारे क्लियर होते जाएंगे. ठीक है, एक पूरा ओवरव्यू मिल जाएगा कि सारे पार्ट्स ऑफ स्पीच कवर हो गए आपके, सारे एग्जाम्पल्स हो गए, सारी क्विजेज जो है, जो भी क्वेरीज है वो सारी सॉर्ट आउट हो गई. Okay, so types of noun, students, it's the very first type of noun is the common noun, right? So common noun, common. ठीक है, I'm just writing down this word, common noun. अब common means what? Simply common, general चीज़ें, जो भी common चीज़ें होती है, common names हैं, animals हैं, place है, चीज़ें हैं, सारी किस में आ गई, एक common noun के पूरी कैटेगरी में. ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू से बॉयज, बॉयज आर कॉमन, गर्ल्स, टीचर्स, डॉक्टर्स, यू आर नॉट आइडेंटिफाइंग और यू आर नॉट स्पेसिफाइंग अ पर्सन. ठीक है, कॉमनली हम बोल रहे हैं कि ये डॉक्टर है, टीचर है, पुलिसमैन है, बॉयज है, गर्ल्स है, ट्रीज है, बर्ड्स हैं, टेबल्स हैं, चेयर्स हैं. सो दीज आर ऑल क्लब टुगेदर इन कॉमन नाउन, राइट? ऑल द कॉमन थिंग्स, कॉमन नाउन, राइट? Very simple. So common nouns are the names of common persons. For example, boys, girls, right? ये सारी चीज़ें आ गई. I am just going to give you examples. Why? Because you know the definitions already or it is there in your book. So I am not here to just tell you the definition, but rather to clear your doubts regarding these concepts. ठीक है? So definition you can go through. I have just told you कि definition common चीज़ें हैं सारी. Same thing is there. An example you can take boys, girls, doctors, teachers. Now we'll be solving the quiz later on, so be attentive and be alert. I will be asking the questions related to this day 1. ठीक है? So be attentive and be alert what I am speaking. Understand what I am speaking. Try to learn whatever I am speaking. Right? Now common nouns done. Easy topic था, clear. Now when you talk about proper nouns, अब नाउन्स को जो था प्रॉपर नेम मिल गया एक. ठीक है, प्रॉपर मीन्स व्हाट, एक स्पेसिफिक नेम मिल गया. किसी भी चीज़ को एक स्पेसिफिक नेम जब हम दे देते हैं, एक प्रॉपर नेम दे देते हैं, इट बिकम्स अ प्रॉपर नाउन, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू टॉक अबाउट टीचर्स, you talking about teachers, so you can talk about any teacher, Hindi teacher, English teacher, math teacher, anyone. But when you are talking about a specific teacher, for example you are talking about me, for example Aisha ma'am, so you are talking about a particular person and that person is having a name, special name. For example me as Aisha ma'am being your English teacher, so you are talking about me, you are talking about a special person or a, you can say a person who's having a special identity. So Aisha ma'am becomes the proper noun. If you talk about teacher, it's a common noun, right? But if you are talking about me or any other teacher, that becomes a proper noun. So whenever you are talking about the proper nouns, it is the name of any special person, any special place, thing or an animal. Now students, एक चीज़ तो clear हो गई कि proper nouns जो भी हैं name of a special person, place, animal, things हैं. For example, you talk about me only. Let's take an example of me as Aisha ma'am. So that is your proper noun, right? So you can take up this example. You can take up any example. For example, you can take up Taj Mahal or any other thing, so and so. So you are naming or you are pointing to that special place, person, animal or a thing. ठीक? But this thing is clear, example समझ में आ गया. But what is that special thing about proper noun, students? Proper nouns, you must have seen that it always starts with a capital letter. They always and always starts with a capital letter. Wherever they are being used, you have to use the capital letter. This is the place where most of the students are making mistakes. Maximum of you are making mistakes. आपको सेंटेंस मिल जाता है, कुछ भी पैराग्राफ मिल जाता है कि इसको कॉमन नाउन आइडेंटिफाई करना है, प्रॉपर नाउन, वो कर दिया आपने. बट जब आपको फ्रेम करना होता है या कोई भी प्रॉपर नाउन अगर आप ले रहे हो सेंटेंस में, सो यू आर नॉट राइटिंग द कैपिटल लेटर ऑफ द प्रॉपर नाउन्स. वाई? यू हैव टू यूज द कैपिटल लेटर. सेंटेंस के बीच में आ रहा है तो बीच में करो सेंटेंस के, ठीक है. अगर एंड में आ रहा है तो नो प्रॉब्लम, यूज द कैपिटल लेटर. ऐसा थोड़ी कि सेंटेंस के बीच में आ रहा है अगर वर्ड या लास्ट में आ रहा है तो यू आर नॉट यूजिंग द कैपिटल लेटर्स. वाई? कॉमन अगर बोल दिया है, इट्स अ rule, or you can say it's very important that you have to use the capital letter, means you have to use the capital letter. ठीक है. जब भी आपको क्लिक करे ये चीज़ कि प्रॉपर नाउन है तो कहीं भी आ जाए वो सेंटेंस में और इन द मिडल ऑफ द पैराग्राफ यूज द कैपिटल लेटर. So this is one mistake that maximum of you people are doing. You are committing it daily. कभी भी आप देखो आपकी कॉपी में कभी ना कभी आपने सबने ये मिस्टेक्स कमिट की होगी. इवन व्हेन आई वाज अ स्टूडेंट, आई विल टेल यू दैट आई आल्सो यूज्ड टू मेक द सेम मिस्टेक्स. सो व्हाई? ट्राई टू रेक्टिफाई दिस प्रॉब्लम. टीचर्स बोलती रहती हैं कि प्रॉपर नाउन को कैपिटल में लिखो, कैपिटल में लिखो, बट यू आर नॉट यूजिंग इट. व्हाई? यूज देम ना. ठीक है, रूल है तो यूज करो फिर. ठीक है. सो यूज अ कैपिटल लेटर वेन एवर इट कम्स टू प्रॉपर नाउन, राइट? This is one very important thing about proper nouns. So I am making a star over here so that you will understand it, or next time से ये problem नहीं होगी. That use a capital letter. Capital letters should be used. One thing clear? Right? Now ये चीज़ हो गई. Up there are so many capital you can say proper nouns which are there in our daily life, which we are using them in our daily life, but we are not writing the capital letters. बहुत सारी ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जो हम डेली लाइफ में यूज़ करते हैं. बहुत सारे वर्ड्स ऐसे हैं जिनको हम डेली लाइफ में यूज़ कर रहे हैं, हमारे सेंटेंसेस में यूज़ कर रहे हैं, कॉपीज़ में लिख रहे हैं और वो गलत लिख रहे हैं. कैपिटल नहीं लिख रहे हैं तो गलत ही होगा, राइट? सो यूज़ दोज वर्ड्स और दोज थिंग्स ऑल्सो इन कैपिटल. Now what are those things? Let me just tell you. There are certain things where you have to use the capital letters. General idea, ठीक है, ताकि आप mistakes commit नहीं करोगे. So see, when you talk about proper nouns, there are so many proper nouns. For example, all the names of special person are proper nouns. This thing is clear to you. Now when you talk about the name of months or name of days of the week, Sunday, Monday, January, February, December, June, October, these are all the proper nouns. Yes, these are all proper nouns. So you have to use them in capital letters. संडे मंडे जो भी आता है आप लोग क्या करते हो, वेरी कॉमनली यू आर यूजिंग द स्मॉल लेटर्स कि आई विल गो टू मीट हिम ऑन संडे, सो यू आर राइटिंग संडे इन स्मॉल लेटर्स. व्हाई? व्हेन इट इज़ अ प्रॉपर नाउन, यूज द कैपिटल लेटर, राइट? You are using the names of months in your sentences, like for example, I'll go to my grandma's house in summer vacation, or I'll go to my grandma's house in June. You are writing June in small letters. Again the marks gets cut. Why? Use them in capital letters because these are the proper nouns. So first thing, when you talk about the proper nouns, all the days of the week, Sunday, Monday, सारे तो mention नहीं करेंगे. I hope everybody knows about the days of the week, right? So days of the week are all proper nouns. एक चीज़ clear हो गई. Now when you talk about the months of a year, months in a year, all the 12 months, ठीक है, starts from January to December, they are all the proper nouns. ठीक. Now days of the week हो गया, months in a year हो गया. अब you might be thinking कि seasons भी सारे फिर तो proper nouns ही होंगे and you have to write summer, winter, monsoon also in capital. No, these are not the proper nouns. So you can write them in small letters. So seasons are not included in proper nouns. Get this thing clear in your mind कि days of the week or months in a year proper nouns है, you have to use the capital letters, but in seasons you do not have to use the capital letter, right? You can write summer season, winter season in small letters. So seasons are not the part of proper noun. ठीक है. I am just going to tell you an idea कि where you are making the maximum mistakes. तो अपनी mistakes को identify करो. ठीक है, कहाँ कहाँ हम गलती कर रहे हैं डेली लाइफ में. Try to rectify them. ठीक है, so that you can become a better person or you can use these things in your day to day life, right? So days of the week हो गया, months in a year हो गया, but seasons are not the part of proper nouns, right? So seasons are not the part of your proper nouns. Cross means you do not have to use them in capital letters. नहीं करना है, right? Now this thing is done. Now all the names of festivals, students, holidays, name of festivals and the holidays. ठीक है. अब important thing, ठीक है, whenever you are talking about any festival, for example say Diwali, Diwali is coming, so you are using Diwali also in small letters. Why? Diwali is not coming daily, it's a proper noun, so use them in capital letter. ठीक है. Holi, Diwali, Eid, Christmas, all these festivals, whether it is any festival, national festival or any religious festival, you have to use the capital letter. ठीक है. गांधी जयंती हो, इंडिपेंडेंस डे हो, रिपब्लिक डे हो, होली, ईद, दिवाली, सब में कैपिटल आएगा. ये नहीं है कि सेंटेंस के बीच में आ रहा है, सो यू आर राइटिंग दिवाली ऑल्सो लाइक दिस. ये मैक्सिमम ऑफ यू आर डूइंग दिस मिस्टेक. करते हैं कि नहीं करते हैं मिस्टेक? दिवाली आ रहा है, ठीक है, डी को लिख दिया स्मॉल, करेक्ट हो जाएगा, बट नो, इट इज़ रॉन्ग. यू आर मेकिंग अ मिस्टेक देयर स्टूडेंट्स, सो ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. ठीक है. नाउ name of festivals done. Now name of all the holidays. For example, you talk about New Year's Eve, summer vacation or any other thing. You are talking about the holidays. For example, Ramdev Jayanti is there, Mahavir Jayanti is there. So many types of festivals and holidays are there. So use them in capital letter. I am paying emphasis to this point more and more. Why? Because you are getting wrong in these topics. ठीक है. तो जहाँ पर एम्फेसिस की ज़रूरत है, जहाँ आप मैक्सिमम ऑफ यू आर डूइंग मिस्टेक्स, आई एम रेक्टिफाइंग देम. ठीक है. सो दिस थिंग, नेम ऑफ फेस्टिवल्स, हॉलीडेज आर ऑल्सो यूज्ड इन प्रॉपर नाउन्स एंड यूज अ कैपिटल लेटर. सो दिवाली ऐसे नहीं यूज़ करके कैसे यूज़ करना है? डी कैपिटल. क्लियर? ठीक है. सो क्या क्या चीज़ें हो गई? डेज ऑफ द वीक कैपिटल, months in a year capital, seasons no capital, you can use them in small letters. Now name of all the festivals, holidays are also included in the proper nouns categories and you have to use a capital letter to these festivals. ठीक है. Now ये सारी चीज़ें हो गई. Now let's move further. In the same topic you are having all the names of buildings, mountains, names of buildings, right? Then you have mountains, rivers, bridges, all these things are also included in proper nouns category. ठीक है. River, कोई special river है, for example Nile river, it is the longest river, so Nile river special name है, so use them capital. ठीक है. Name of any particular building can talk about a special building, not the general building but a special building, so use a capital thing. ठीक है. You're talking about mountains, Mount Everest, Mount Tabu, Mount Kanchenjunga, Mount K2, so many are there, so use the capital letter to these special mountains, right. That was all about your proper nouns category. Now let's move further to the third type of noun, that is the collective noun. Collective noun. Now let me just write it down. Okay, this is your third type of nouns. So the third type of noun is collective noun. अब collective नेम्स जैसे ही आपको कुछ भी इंट्रोड्यूस हो तो पहले उसको इंटरप्रेट करने की कोशिश करो कि कुछ भी नाम अगर है उसका मीनिंग क्या है. मीनिंग समझ में आ गई, एग्जाम्पल समझ में आ गया, फिर कहीं भी अगर वो चीज़ आ जाएगी तो यू कैन रिमेंबर देम. कलेक्टिव नाउन्स. अब कलेक्टिव मीन्स क्या है, कुछ भी कलेक्शन, एक किसी भी चीज़ का, कुछ भी चीज़ का कलेक्शन हो, ग्रुप हो, एक पूरा एरिया या चीज कुछ भी चीज़ कवर हो रही है, बहुत सारी ग्रुप में आ रहे हैं लोग, तो दैट बिकम्स अ कलेक्टिव नाउन. सो ऑल द ग्रुप ऑफ थिंग्स, people, place, so many things are there which are included in your collective nouns. It is basically a collection of noun, right. For example, if you talk about bouquet of flowers, now flowers, bouquet it is, so bouquet means having lot of flowers in that bouquet, so a bouquet of flowers is your collective noun. Now set of stamps, ठीक है, flock of birds, so many other, bunch of keys, pile of books, these are all your collective nouns, right. So let me just write down some examples so that your mind will be clear about these things. Collection of things, you can say set of stamps, ठीक है, bouquet of flowers, pile of books, these are all your collective nouns. I am not going to give you the definition again, I am telling you just the example. Sorry, bouquet of, not nouns, it's bouquet of flowers. So all these comes in the category of collective noun, ठीक है. collection, अब जब एग्जाम्पल सॉल्व करेंगे, DPP सॉल्व करेंगे तो आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा कि कहीं भी कलेक्शन की बात हो रही है, पाइल ऑफ बुक्स, बंच ऑफ कीज, सेट ऑफ स्टैम्प्स, दीज आर ऑल योर कलेक्टिव नाउन्स. ऑडियंस पूरा एक कलेक्शन होता है, तो ऑडियंस भी क्या है, कलेक्टिव नाउन है, ठीक है. ऐसे ही अगर आप देखो कि मासेस में जहाँ अगर लोग जा रहे हैं, जैसे ऑडियंस हो गई, ठीक है, और भी कहीं भी जहाँ लोग इकट्ठे हो रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन फेयर, so that becomes your collective noun, right. So that was all about your collective noun. Now let's move further towards the fourth type of noun, that is the concrete noun or the material noun. Concrete or material. Up concrete or material nouns are what, students? All those nouns which you can see, which you can touch, which you can which are there in physical existence, which are having a physical appearance of their own, are all the concrete noun or the material noun. कोई भी चीज़ है जैसे आपको, जो आपको रियल में दिख रही है, जिसको आप टच कर सकते हो, जिसको आप फील कर सकते हो, वो सारी चीज़ें क्या आ जाएंगी, कॉन्क्रीट नाउन. फिजिकल अपीयरेंस होना ज़रूरी है, जिसको हम देख सकते हैं वो आपका सारा क्या हो जाएगा, कॉन्क्रीट नाउन में आ जाएगा. मटीरियल नाउन है जो चीज़ें आपको दिख रही है. मटीरियलिस्टिक चीज़ें क्या है, जो भी आपको दिख रही है, टेबल, चेयर, बोर्ड, टीचर्स, डॉक्टर्स, chalk, pen, all these things are your concrete noun. Cement, bricks, so many n number of things are there, so that is all concrete noun. ठीक है, concrete material, जो चीज़ आप देख सकते हो physically. For example, let's talk about chalk, बिल्डिंग, डॉक्टर, डॉग्स, कुछ भी ऐसी चीज़ें जो आप फिजिकली देख सकते हो, जिसका खुद का एक फिजिकल अपीयरेंस हो, वो सब किस में आ जाएंगी स्टूडेंट्स? कॉन्क्रीट या मटीरियल नाउन. ठीक है, डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज बिकॉज द वर्ड्स आर बीन यूज इंटरचेंजेबली. कभी आपको क्वेश्चन में आ जाएगा कि आइडेंटिफाई द कॉन्क्रीट नाउन, और कभी आ जाएगा आइडेंटिफाई द मटीरियल नाउन. दोनों चीज़ें सेम है, एक ही बातें हैं दोनों में, कि फिजिकल अपीयरेंस जहाँ पे भी होगा वो सब क्या हो जाएगा? कॉन्क्रीट नाउन. राइट. नाउ fourth thing is clear. Now let's discuss about the last type of noun, that is your abstract noun. रूल्स इन सब नाउन्स में ज़्यादा है नहीं, प्रॉपर नाउन में थे वो कैपिटलाइजेशन वाले जो रूल्स थे वो सब अपन ने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर लिए. ठीक है. नाउ एब्स्ट्रैक्ट नाउन. एब्स्ट्रैक्ट मीन्स व्हाट? समथिंग विच यू कैन नॉट सी. एब्स्ट्रैक्ट मीन्स जो हम हमारे दिमाग में फील कर सकते हैं, दिमाग में सोच सकते हैं, क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, बट यू कैन नॉट सी देम, यू कैन नॉट फील देम. राइट. Sorry, you cannot touch them, you cannot see them, but you can always feel them. Right. So that is your abstract noun. For example, happiness. You are happy, right, because you do not have to come to school right now, you are enjoying at home. Happiness. ठीक है. So happiness what? Happiness is an abstract noun. Now sadness, you can say anger, whenever you are angry on somebody. So anger. ठीक है. Jealousy, politeness, kindness, all these things comes under the category of abstract nouns. Right. So जो फीलिंग वाली चीज़ें हैं, right, जो आप फील कर सकते हो, देख नहीं सकते हो, टच नहीं कर सकते हो. यू कैन नॉट टच एंगर. राइट. किसी का एंगर टच कर सकते हैं क्या हम? नो. सो दैट इज़ योर एब्स्ट्रैक्ट नाउन. क्लियर आइडिया है, क्लियर कॉन्सेप्ट है. एक बार चीज़ें समझ में आ गई तो फिर कहीं भी अगर वो वर्ड्स आ जाते हैं, एग्जाम्पल आ जाते हैं, तो आपको क्लियर रहेगा कि हाँ एब्स्ट्रैक्ट है तो थिंकिंग वाली चीज़ है जिसे हम देख नहीं सकते. कॉन्क्रीट है मतलब फिजिकल अपीयरेंस है, तो उसको अंडरलाइन कर दो. ठीक है. कॉमन है, कॉमन चीज़ें हैं, कॉमन नाउन बन गया. कलेक्शन कहीं भी अगर आ जाता है कि ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल आर टॉकिंग, ऑडियंस हैव बीन कलेक्टेड, ये सब क्या बन गए? कलेक्टिव नाउन्स बन गए. एग्जाम्पल क्लियर हो गए, कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हो गए, तो ईजी हो जाएगा कि एक्सरसाइज में सॉल्व करना हो या कुछ भी सॉल्व करना हो, सो यू कैन ईजीली डू देम. राइट. So that was all about your abstract noun. Let me just write down some examples. So happiness, sadness, brutality, kindness, politeness, all these comes under the category of abstract noun. इतने सारे words तो आपके इसी में ही आ जाते हैं. ठीक है. So that is all your abstract noun. And this was all about your nouns. Topic noun. एक part of speech clear हो गया. Now let's move further towards proper nouns. Right. Now sorry, pronouns. Proper nouns और pronouns दोनों बिल्कुल अलग चीज़ें हैं, so don't get confused in that. Okay, pronouns are different and proper nouns are different, so don't get confused. Now one part of speech has been covered. बहुत सारे students क्या करते हैं, proper noun है या pronoun है, दोनों को एक जैसा यूज समझ के उसको और कंटिन्यू करने लग जाते हैं कि प्रॉपर नाउन है या प्रोनाउन है, बट इट इज़ टोटली डिफरेंट थिंग. Proper nouns are a part of nouns and pronouns is a separate part of speech. एक चीज़ क्लियर हो गई. Now let's discuss about pronouns. जो भी सारे कॉमन मिस्टेक्स हैं आप लोगों के, आप इसको अच्छे से समझो, सुनो. ठीक है. और जहाँ जहाँ भी हम गलती करते हैं आज तक हमारी जो डेली लाइफ में अभी तक, तो उसको रेक्टिफाई करने की कोशिश करना है. राइट. And from tomorrow we'll be discussing the DPPs of the same. जो भी टॉपिक मैं डे 1 में, डे 2 में ले रही हूँ, कल से उसकी DPPs डिस्कस होगी. So try to answer them correctly, and if you have any doubt, we will be discussing them, right, simultaneously. So one part of speech has been covered. Now let's talk about the second part of speech, that is your pronouns. Pronouns. Right. Now pronouns are the words which comes in place of a noun. ठीक है. लोअर क्लासेस से पढ़ते हुए आ रहे हैं. pronouns क्या है? which comes in place of noun. For example, if you are talking, let's take an example. Ravi is a good boy. Ravi comes first in the class. Ravi Ravi, or you can say Ravi is very helpful. So Ravi, Ravi, Ravi all the time you are using. So in place of Ravi, we can use Ravi one time ki Ravi is a good boy, and then next time you can use he. He comes first in the class, or he helps everyone. So in place of Ravi, what we have done, we have excluded that Ravi and we have used he in place of Ravi. So that is what pronouns are. ठीक है, जो भी नाउन्स की जगह पे आ जाते हैं, क्योंकि अगर हम एक ही सेंटेंस में वर्ड्स बार बार यूज करते रहेंगे, सो द सेंटेंस विल नॉट लुक गुड, right? Again and again you are using that word. So instead of that word you are using pronoun. That is your pronoun, right? So all the words which comes in place of nouns are your pronouns, right? So now this pronoun is also having so many types. Now let's discuss about them. First thing, I'll take the examples, and from that example we'll come to know the types. So would anyone like a coffee? अब क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं तो साथ साथ प्रोनाउंसिएशन का भी ध्यान रखना है कि क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं तो उसका टोन जो होता है वो बिल्कुल अलग होता है. एक रेगुलर सेंटेंस बोल रहे हो, शी इज़ अ गुड गर्ल, ठीक है, फुल स्टॉप है, सेंटेंस खत्म. बट व्हेन यू आर आस्किंग अ क्वेश्चन, ट्राई टू आस्क देम इन अ interrogative manner. For example, would you like to have a coffee, or would anyone like to have a coffee? So ask your question like that. ठीक है, सिंपल सेंटेंस बोलना एक अलग होता है, एंड क्वेश्चंस व्हेनेवर यू आर आस्किंग, सो आस्क इट इन दैट टोन, राइट? एक चीज़ हो गई. आई एम जस्ट राइटिंग डाउन द एग्जाम्पल्स, उसके बाद अपन टाइप्स डिस्कस करेंगे. सो वुड एनीवन लाइक अ कॉफ़ी? नाउ आई हैव मोर मनी दैन हिम. आई हैव मोर मनी देन हिम. अब क्लिक कर जाना चाहिए कि प्रोनाउंस कौन कौन से हैं और टाइप्स कौन कौन सी है. ठीक है, साथ साथ करते जाना है ताकि क्वेरी सॉर्ट आउट हो जाए. नाउ काउंट योर सेल्स. काउंट योर सेल्स. इट इज नॉट सेल्फ, योर सेल्व्स, राइट? देन यू हैव, डिड यू सी दैट? अगेन क्वेश्चन, तो उसको ऐसे ही पूछना है, डिड यू सी दैट? इससे आपका क्या होगा, रीडिंग पार्ट जो है वो भी इम्प्रेसिव लगता है कि जब आप क्वेश्चंस कर रहे हो या क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहे हो किसी से, तो यू आर आस्किंग देम इन अ क्वेश्चन टोन कि डिड यू सी दैट, वुड यू लाइक टू कम विद मी, हु इज दैट बॉय. आस्क द क्वेश्चंस इन दैट मैनर. ठीक है, सो दिस थिंग. नाउ this cat is mine. About pronouns, students, pronouns is a separate category, or you can say it is a next type of part of speech, right? So I have written certain examples. Now with these examples we will be sorting them out कि what is the type of this pronoun. ठीक है तो सारे pronouns ही sentences में हम pronouns हमने use किए हैं, but what are the pronouns and what are the types of pronouns being mentioned on this these boards. So let me just discuss them one by one. Right, now let's start with the first one. Would anyone like a coffee? Now as I told you that you have to ask a question in a question form. Would anyone like a coffee? So this way, now try to answer or detect what is the pronoun here. So would anyone like a coffee? So anyone becomes your pronoun. Why? Because not the special person or not any name is mentioned. Anyone, ठीक है, कुछ clear नहीं है कि कौन है. So this becomes your pronoun, right? So first thing when it comes to detection is your pronoun, and anyone is your pronoun. Now what is the type of pronoun here? This anyone, nobody, no one, these are all when you are not sure about the quantity, it becomes your indefinite pronoun. ठीक है, indefinite pronoun. Now why is this called as indefinite? Why? Because the quantity और the number is not known to us. Definite नहीं है ना कि fixed number में दे रखा है कि 5 है, 6 है, इतने हैं. So it is not known to us. तो anyone or everyone, no one, nobody. So these are all your indefinite pronouns. ठीक है, जब भी ऐसी uncertainty होती है या जहाँ number fix नहीं होता है, specified नहीं होता है, definite नहीं होता है, that becomes your indefinite pronouns. ठीक है, so first type of pronouns which are there with us is anyone, and that is your indefinite pronoun. एक चीज़ clear? ठीक है, so this is your indefinite pronoun. One thing is clear to you, one type is clear. Now let's discuss about the second one. I have more money than him. I have more money than him. So here you are talking about two pronouns are there. So first one is I, ठीक है, and him. ठीक है, both are pronouns, but what type of pronoun is this? It is not starting. So what type of pronoun is this? I have more money than him means I and him are your pronouns. Now what type of pronouns are these? These are your personal pronouns. Whenever you are talking about something personal, that becomes your personal pronoun, right? So I and him here are your personal pronouns. ठीक है? Comments are not visible to us. So whenever you are talking about your personal pronouns, whenever you are talking about something personal, that becomes your personal pronouns, right? Now let's start about the next example. So count yourselves, right? Now count yourselves, two words are there, and whenever you are talking about the type of pronoun here is yourselves. ठीक है, count तो हो नहीं सकता है कि pronoun है ये count. So yourselves is your next type of pronoun. And what type of pronoun is this, students? Yourselves, themselves, himself, herself, all these self and selves are your reflexive pronoun. जहाँ भी selves वाली चीज़ें आ रही है, himself, yourself, themselves, all these are your reflexive pronouns, right? So reflexive pronoun. I forgot to write it here. The next type of pronoun, it is the personal pronoun, right? Personal pronoun. And the third one we studied is reflexive pronoun. जब भी selves वाली चीज़ें आएगी, बिना सोचे समझे आपको क्या आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि ये रिफ्लेक्सिव प्रोनाउन है, एंड जस्ट राइट डाउन कि रिफ्लेक्सिव है. सिंपल, ठीक है. नाउ द नेक्स्ट वन, डिड यू सी दैट? नाउ दिस, दैट, these, those, you are talking about some demonstration, right? कि this is my book, that is a boy, these are girls, or this, that, these, those becomes your demonstrative pronouns. Why? Because they are demonstrating towards something. So that becomes your demonstrative pronouns, right? So next type of pronoun comes here is your demonstrative pronoun. Example के साथ simultaneously we are studying about the types of pronouns so that you will get a clear idea of all the types of pronouns, right? So we studied about the first one, that was indefinite. Then we studied about personal, all the personal nouns, ठीक है, that are your pronouns. Then all the themself, himself, yourself, that becomes your reflexive pronoun, right? And then we studied about the demonstrative. Demonstratives are what? This, that, these, those becomes your demonstrative pronouns, ठीक है. Now don't get confused about these types, and let's move on to the next type of pronoun, that is this cat is mine. So this here there are two types of pronouns, ठीक है. तो this तो हमने पहले पढ़ लिया है कि it is your demonstrative, तो इसका तो हमें कुछ नहीं करना है. Now when you talk about mine, so mine, ठीक है, this belongs to me, this is mine. So whenever you are talking about some possession कि ये मेरी है, ठीक है, जैसे this cat is mine, ठीक है, this car belongs to me. So whenever you are talking about a possession or ownership, that becomes your possessive pronoun, ठीक है. possession या ownership वाली चीज़ जहाँ भी आ जाती है, that becomes your possessive pronoun, ठीक है. So the next category of pronoun comes here is your possessive pronoun. It has got double S all the time, so possessive pronoun, right? This was your next type of pronoun. Now let's move on to the next example. Now the table which sits in the halfway belongs to the correspondence. You try to read also the way I am reading, where you have to pause, okay, whenever there is a comma, so you have to wait for a second. The table which belongs to which sits in the halfway belongs to the correspondence or is used for correspondence. So you have to take a pause whenever there is a comma, ठीक है. One thing. Now the table which sits in the halfway belongs to the correspondence. So which, ठीक है, it is somewhat relating, this table has been related to the correspondence, ठीक है. So you have to identify कि this is your relative noun. Why? Because it has been relating, ठीक है. Let me see the comments first. Yeah, you people are replying it, very good. This, that, these, those, yeah, right. Then whenever you are talking about possessive pronoun, it is also been cleared, ठीक है. We have just cleared the possessive pronouns. Now which, very good students, you people are replying, so that's good. You be in contact with me, okay, and try to answer whenever I am asking the questions. So which, now why is this being a pronoun, and what type of pronoun is this? Let me just know what is the difference between elder and older. We'll be discussing about it later on, students. First focus what I am teaching, ठीक है. elder, older सब चीज़ें clear कर लेंगे, but let me just tell you the types of pronouns, ठीक है. Now possessive, who is this? Varma, you are saying it is a possessive pronoun. So no, this is not a possessive pronoun, student. This is a relative pronoun, ठीक है. Now relative pronoun. Why? Because students, it is somewhat relating. This table has been related to the sentence कि this table which belongs to the which sits in the halfway belongs to the correspondence. ये जो table है वो जो यहाँ बीच में रखी हुई है वो correspondence के लिए है. तो ये जो table है, you are relating it, okay, so that becomes your relative pronoun. Clear? This type is also clear. Very good, very good. Yeah, you people are replying. Now, yeah, right, relative. So clear. Now let's move on to the second last question, okay. Who will come to the party, ठीक है. Now how you are going to say this sentence? Who will come to the party? Like this, ठीक है. Pronunciation clear. Now identify what is the pronoun here. Let me just know. You tell me, reply me fast, and then we'll be moving on next. What is the type and what is the pronoun here? I am waiting for your reply, students, so that we can move further. who will come to the party? So let me just tell you कि what is the type what is the pronoun here first. पहले identify करना है who, ठीक है, who is the pronoun, ठीक है, क्योंकि clear नहीं है. Okay, so this is your pronoun. Now what type of pronoun can anybody tell me in the reply or in the comment section? Yeah, you people are replying who, but what type of pronoun can anybody tell me? Demonstration? No, it's not demonstration, beta. Tell me another type. We people have already discussed about the demonstrative. This, that, these, those are your demonstratives. So try to answer this. What is this who? Which type of pronoun is this? Interrogative. Very good. Avinash Yadav, Shivani, Shivansh, Harshit. Yeah, it's interrogative. Whenever you are asking questions, good, you people are replying, that's very good. Keep this spirit on, okay, and try to be in interaction with me all the time, okay. So who is your interrogative pronoun, as this Avinash has said, or this the other students are saying? So yes, this is interrogative pronoun. So I am just writing it down here. Interrogating, interrogative. इंटरोगेट करना मीन्स क्या होता है? क्वेश्चंस पूछना. अब जहाँ भी हु, व्हाट, विच, व्हेन, हाउ, विच, ये सब जहाँ भी आ जाते हैं, वाई, ये सारी चीज़ें, हाउ, दीज आर ऑल योर इंटरोगेटिव प्रोनाउंस, ठीक है. विच, व्हाट, व्हेन, हु, हाउ, all these are your interrogative pronouns. Clear? Now, yeah, all the students are replying, that's good. So that becomes your interrogative pronoun. Clear? Now let's move on to the last one. This is his own car. Now there are two types of pronouns here in this sentence, students. So this, who's this? Navneet has said कि this is the pronoun. Yes, this is the pronoun, but we people have already studied about this, that this is demonstrative, ठीक है. तो ये चीज़ तो demonstrative हो गई. Now what is the next type of pronoun in this, students? This is his own car. What is the next type of pronoun mentioned in this sentence? Try to read this sentence and identify. Demonstrative? No, Mrityunjay, it's not demonstrative. Suhani, yes, very good, this is own. Okay, so the next type of pronoun which has been mentioned here is own. Very good, Suhani. Verma, this is not personal. Try to answer it. It's not personal. Own is, it's not talking about personal thing. This is his own car. Whenever it is paying emphasis, ठीक है, कभी भी emphasis अगर चीज़ कर रही है, या this is his own car, okay, this is the very man which I saw in the market. तो the own and very, these two are your emphatic pronouns. Emphatic pronouns. Nobody has replied this, never mind, but this is your own and very are your emphatic pronouns, right? So the last type, or you can say the last example which we have taken was your emphatic pronoun. This हमने पहले ही पढ़ लिया है, ये demonstrative है, तो this तो हमें कुछ करना ही नहीं है उसका, okay? Who's this student has replied this and own? Yes, Suhani, this and own are the pronouns, but both are having the different kinds of pronoun, ठीक है. This जो है वो demonstrative है, और own और very जो है वो emphatic है. तो जब भी own या very अगर आ जाता है सेंटेंस में, बिना सोचे समझे क्या लिख देना है, that is emphatic pronoun. Clear? So emphatic are having only two words. First is own and the next one is very. ठीक है. So ये दोनों चीज़ें जब भी आ जाती है, that becomes your emphatic pronoun. Why? Because it is putting emphasis towards something, right? Emphatic pronoun. We know the spelling of emphatic is wrong, ठीक है. So you can mention or you can see it from the board, right? Emphatic pronoun, right? Now you have not understood, Vijay Lakshmi. See, what is that emphatic pronoun, student? Emphatic means putting emphasis. Emphasis means किसी चीज़ पे फोकस करना या उसी चीज़ पे emphasis करना. जैसे मैं बोल रही हूँ कि ये जो कार है वो मेरी है, बस मेरी ही है, ओके. दिस इज़ हिज ओन मनी, ये मनी जो है बस उसी की ही है, उसी की है. तो एम्फेसिस करिए कि वो बस उसी की ही है और किसी और की नहीं है. तो क्या हो गया? एम्फेसिस फोकस कर रहा है उस चीज़ पे, तो क्या बन गया? एम्फेटिक प्रोनाउन, राइट. नाउ दिस इज द वेरी सेम मैन whom I saw in the market. ये वही आदमी है जिसको मैंने मार्केट में देखा था, वही, ठीक है. सो इट इज पुटिंग एन एम्फेसिस टूवर्ड्स दैट मैन, राइट. सो दैट बिकम्स योर एम्फेटिक प्रोनाउन, राइट. आई होप यू पीपल हैव अंडरस्टूड एम्फेटिक, राइट. हाँ, फोर्स, करेक्ट. फोर्स जब भी हम किसी चीज़ पे लगा रहे हैं या कुछ एम्फेसिस अगर दे रहे हैं, दैट बिकम्स योर एम्फेटिक प्रोनाउन. एम्फेसिस वर्ड से इस वर्ड को हमने लिया है एम्फेटिक, right. So emphatic pronoun was your next type of pronoun, right. Now try to be in contact with me again. Now we people have covered all the types of pronouns, right. Now let's move on to the next type of speech, that is your verbs, right. I hope you people have understood. So let's move on to the next topic right now, or we'll be discussing it tomorrow. Now it's been almost, the time is over. So we'll be discussing the next type of speech or the next part of speech in the next session. But it was a good session. Try to be in contact with me for these 6 days so that you can understand so many things. And from tomorrow we'll be discussing the DPPs also. ठीक है, आज जो भी टॉपिक हमने किया था, I'll provide you with the DPP, and from tomorrow for 10 to 15 minutes we'll be discussing that DPP. ठीक है, तो टॉपिक क्लियर होते जाएंगे, उसके साथ साथ आपका जो भी क्वेरीज रहेगी वो सॉर्ट आउट हो जाएगी. ठीक है. So I hope you people had a nice session with me, okay. So be in contact with me for these 6 days so that you can understand and you can learn so many things, right. So it was a good session with you all, okay. Stay updated for these 6 days. Thank you and have a nice day. You are wanting me to take it today because I have a class student, so I cannot take it today. We'll be stretching this session tomorrow, okay. We'll be there for 6 days, so all your doubts will be cleared related to English topics, ठीक है. So stay updated with me. Thank you and have a nice day. Yeah, you too have a nice day, all the students.